guys, how are you? My name is Intan from Sari. Now I want to try to tell you about study of phonology. The first is about the study of pronunciation and the second is how to use consonant in English. Let me start. The first part, I want to try to tell you about the study of pronunciation. The study of pronunciation consists two fields. The first is phonetics and the second is phonology. Phonetics refers to the study of speech sounds and the study of phonology of English looks at the vowels, consonants, and suprasegmental of the language. Okay, the next place of articulation is velar. Velar is touching the back of the tongue to velum. The second part about how to use consonant in English. Okay, I want to try to tell you about consonant in English. The first is place of articulation. The place of articulation is bilabial. Bilabial is using both of lips. For example of bilabial is b, b, and the second is and the third is p, p, and the final is w. For the b sound, for example, like bag, and for the in the middle is table, and for the final is verb, and for the sound, for example, money, and for the in the middle is sample, and for the final is exam. And the next is p, p. For example, pass. And the in the middle is apple. And the third is top. And the next is about w, w. For example, wheel, wheel. And the next is upward, upward. And the final is about window, window. Tweet, tweet. The second place of articulation is labiodental. Labiodental is moving the lower lip against the upper front teeth. For example, and the second is for the sound is there is no vibration, and for the there is vibration. So the sound we can call is unvoiced. For the sound is voice. For example, fly, fly, and the second is information, information, and the second is off, 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 and for the sound, for example, view, view, and the next is movie, movie, and for the final is move, move. Okay, the next place of articulation is alveolar. Alveolar is putting the teeth front parts of the tongue against the teeth right. For example, l, and the second is and the next is t, t, and for this one is and for this one this one, d, d. And for this one, z, z. Okay, the first is l, l. For example, in initial is large, large. And the second is plain, plain. And the next is special, special. And for this one, for example, near, near. And in the middle is under, under. And for the final is wine. And the next is t. For example, time. And for in the middle is stay. For the final is state. And the next is sound. For example, sweet. And the next is sister. And the next is analysis. For this one is R. For example, rich, rich. And the next is under, under. And for this one is the. For example, double, double. And the next is bedevilles, bedevilles. And for this one is head. And the final sound is z. For example, the initial zoo, zoo. And for the in the middle is bosom, bosom. For the final is guys, guys. Okay, the next place of articulation is palatal or palato-alveolar. Palatal or alveolar is touching the tongue to the palate. For example, and the second is j, j. And for the next is yes, yes. For the ch sound, there is no vibration. So we can call this one is unvoiced. For the ch, is there is vibration. So we can call it voice. For the yes is voice also. For example of ch sound, ch, chin. And for the in the middle is teacher. And for the final is beach, beach. And for this one is j sound. For example, general, general. And for this one is heritage, heritage. And the next is year, year. For example, yard. And the next is sky. Okay, the next place of articulation is velar. Velar is touching the back of the tongue to velum. For example, k, k. And for this one is g, g. And for this one, unk. For example of the k is cake, cake. And for this one is rocking. And for this one is cook, cook. And the next is For example, uncle, uncle. And the next is sink, sink. For For the next sound is G. For example, gutter. And the next is yogurt. And for the final is tweet. Tweet. For the final place of articulation is glottal. Glottal is sounds articulate around glottis. For example, for example of the word is head, head, head. Well, that's all about study of phonology, about study of pronunciation and how to use consonant in English. I'm so sorry if I have a mistake. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.